Good morning. Cool. We got Nick joining up. Cool.
Yo, yo.
What's
What's up?
up? What's up?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So I gotta hop off at 8:30, so I'm just gonna go first.
Okay.
This, boom. So yeah, let's get started. So it is Wednesday, September 23rd. We've got some good movement in the markets right now. This is our live trading session. So we're gonna go over, as always, all the pairs that me and Nick are looking at for the day. So I'm going to go over all the major pairs. We're going to get started with DXY, and then Nick is going to get into some more exotics and
Well,
what you
couple
should.
couple crosses, and a couple majors, and then gold.
hmm I'm actually looking
Okay.
at GU right now potentially on this little retest. Just broke
Yeah,
out of
J,
this.
JU is setting up to be a nice re-entry.
Yeah,
Looks like.
definitely looking good. So what you guys should expect out of this session, we're going to go over market structure, higher time frame analysis, top down analysis, entries, projections, everything like that. We're going to try to navigate in this market, which has been a little bit tricky, but the key is just adapting. Got to adapt. So that's why we're coming on to these live sessions every single day. We would do this regardless, me and Nick, just to get ready for the day. So we figure, why not let you guys in on it and do a little session for you guys as well. So these are recorded. They're going to be put on YouTube. They're always put on YouTube afterwards. So if you guys want to watch any of them, just head over to YouTube. It's all free. So yeah, let's pretty much get started. We're going to get started with DXY. So DXY is just the dollar index. It's just the value of the US dollar. So we're going to bump up all the way up to this weekly time frame, upwards this time frame. So we had this little trend line that came into play. We're getting a lot of bullish movement right now, pretty unexpectedly, but this thing kind of stopped on a dime by this trend line. But regardless, all the way down to the daily time frame, we had the moving averages cross here. So we had a lot of buyers step into the market. And now this thing is presumably pulling back. We're hitting 38.2 right now, monthly level, but there is no signs of slowing up, at least at the moment. So we really are looking for this thing to continue bullish, to continue heading to the upside. So this is going to correlate with a lot of these pairs right now as USD gains strength. A lot of these pairs will correlate with that as well. So let's take a look. What up, Troy? Well, and any questions you guys have, just put in the chats. Feel free to type anything you guys want, ask anything you guys want, and we'll go over it. So let's start off with GU. So I'm just going to take this off. GU on this weekly time frame. Boom. So as always, just look at overall structure. Overall structure is very bearish. As we kind of zone in on where price is right now, we're just in the middle of these two key levels. This week's candle obviously fell off pretty bearish to the downside. We're starting to wick a little bit at the bottom here, starting to wick this monthly support level. So we're retesting this area, but we need to break these candles down a little bit more. We're below the 200-day, so there are a lot of sellers in the market right now. So as we come down to the daily time frame obviously has been very bearish, and we're coming into, again, this support level. We're right at this 200-day moving average. But before we consider any sort of reversals or anything like that, we would need, at the minimum, to break this level
Yep.
all the way up here. So until this level is broken, we're maintaining our bearish bias. We're looking for sell opportunities. And then as we get down to the 30-minute, we had this little pullback right here, where we made this lower high, went down into this monthly level, Then overnight, we came back up into this level right now. So pretty much what we're looking to get in on, we're looking to get in on any short opportunities below this random line right now. And how we will go about doing that is we'll look down to the 15-minute time frame, and we basically just need some sort of price action below here. We need this to move an average and start to cross. As you can see, there's a lot of rejection right now of this level one, two times rejecting this level with bearish variations. So if we get something like this, a conviction candle, a lot of momentum coming through, we'll just place our stops above this area up here, and our targets will be again this monthly level down here and even lower if it does manage to break that. So that's GU right now. We're going to stay patient, but we are looking for sells unless, like we said, we do start to break above this level. Then we'll bump up time frames and be a little bit more patient. So that's GU for today. Let's go over
Looking
now.
good. Looking good. Could see something play out on GU in the next few hours, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go over now to UCAD. Let's go up to this monthly time frame. So it's getting kind of busy on this time frame right now. We're just within these monthly key levels, just ton of volume. So we need to, if you see these candles, this full, we just need to break these candles down a little bit more. As we start to break them down a little bit more, we can see on this weekly time frame, we had this huge push to the upside. We came to the bottom, then we found support at this monthly level. Little bit of rejection here in the moving averages, but we just started to zoom through. So let's continue to just break this down all the way right now to the 4 hour. Pretty much on this 4 hour time frame, we're climbing up a little bit higher, and I do think it does look like we're going to push into this zone, but let's just go to the lower time frame, see if there's any sort of pattern that we can recognize or anything like that. You can sit on the 1 hour with this. So we could even say this thing has been consolidating within this area, and we would consider this to be a rectangle pattern. So rectangle patterns, we've got at least two highs, at least two lows. This would be a low, this would be a low. We got these highs right here. Basically how we would play this is right how it's happening right now. We need it to break out. We need it to retest, and this could happen fairly quickly. And then to the upside, we'd be targeting that monthly resistance level. So we can look at it from this time frame. As we can see, we just pulled up, made this new high. Now we just made this higher low, which obviously looks a little bit different than these areas. We made this higher low all the way up here. So if we want to take any sort of long opportunities, this is what it would look like. We would have to put stops really below this level. We have to put targets. And as always for targets, guys, you got to bump up time frame. So I'm bumping up to the 4 hour because this is where we overall see this push happening. This is where we can start to see our key levels, look at previous highs right here. And pretty much what we'd be targeting is this previous high right in this zone. So we get that nice 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. And this looks like a pretty good trade. This looks like a pretty good trade. What makes this a viable option right now is we just made this higher low. So what this tells us is that until this level is broken on this 15-minute time frame, we are in a buyer's market. We're looking at buy opportunities. So this is a good trade right now. If you guys wanted to get in on this, you could just put stops below here, right at this 1.33100 level. Enter, right now. Always recommend to risk 1%. I'm going to change this to blue, and your targets will be at least 2-to-1. So we're targeting up into this monthly resistance level, about 55 pips or so. So this is a good position. We're going to potentially get in on that ourselves. What do you think of this, Nick? This thing's
This one
looking
looks
pretty.
great too.
Yeah, this thing's
It's
looking
really
pretty
good.
nice. We got
We look
little.
at nice higher low. Came back to the MAs, gave us they touched, I wouldn't necessarily call it a cross, but they touched enough and then gave us a strong variation through that resistance level.
Yeah, this thing
The
looks pretty solid.
Yeah, honestly, that's prime.
Cool. So again, we're looking for USD to continue to go long. I just told them, I just put out a little signal for it.
Okay. Yeah,
Fuck it.
that's a good setup, guys.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's what these trading sessions are for. Sometimes you catch one in the middle of it, making a move like this, and
Yeah, I mean, we try to get trades out for you guys in the sessions, but like Nick said, sometimes we don't see trades for a week at a time. A week at a time. But we try to stay as disciplined as possible with the strategy that we use, and that's what you guys should do. You shouldn't be trying to take trades every day. You should be trying to be as patient as you possibly can be, so you can actually take pretty good setups.
right. It all depends on when the setups are there. I mean, you could end up taking 3, 4 trades a day, and then maybe one for an entire week. It just depends on what opportunities you're catching. So patience is key, though. At the end of the day, well said.
We
Somebody
got
in
this
chat.
little UCAD position. Let's head over to USEF, and let's talk about yesterday. We had some projections here. It looks like we're playing out to the upside. And guys, we always kind of play out two different projections on these because we can't marry one bias. You can't marry one side of the market. You got to be ready for whatever happens. So let's bump all the way up to the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, we hit this low right here, and then obviously a lot of buyers stepped in right at this level. Why is that level there, you might say? We can come over to the line chart, kind of just clear this up real quick, take off the moving averages. And pretty much what I look for is I just look for situations. So we teach this inside the course, how to place support and resistance. But just looking right here, we have this level of resistance right there. We have this level of support right here. We have this level of resistance. We also have this level of support. So it's key to have them on both sides of the market. As I bring the candlesticks back on, we can see these are all tested areas. So again, we teach this inside the course. These are all tested areas. The reason why these are significant is because this is where the market came to, stopped, found support, came to, found resistance, and a lot of orders came in. So all this is orders coming into the market, driving it in one direction, and that's where we want to trade. That's where we want to potentially look for reversals in the future market and where we are now, based on previous situations. So let's get back to where we're at right now. Obviously, finding a lot of buyers off this level, and let's just break this down. So breaking down that monthly candle down to the weekly time frame, we're seeing what it's made up of. We had this bullish engulfing, this spinning top, and another spinning top, and then this huge bullish candle. So these are all signs of reversal at that level. So those are two confirmations for you guys. You got the key level, and then you got bullish engulfing, spinning top, multiple confirmations there. And then you can just continue breaking this down to the lower time frame. So as I come down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see we were in a downtrend, forming lower highs, low, lower high, low, lower high. And then we retested this low, came up. We actually started to break structure right here. So we had this break, made this higher high, came down, and then we started to make this higher low, which fought this level multiple times all the way until really this broke. And all the while, guys, if I were to go into a more in-depth breakdown of this, like we don't have the time to do that right now, but what I would be doing is I would be looking at these bullish variations right here on this 4-hour time frame, and then I would go down to the 30-minute, and I would start to see is that time frame starting to break structure as well, because as we go to the 30-minute, that's where we can start to look for potential entry opportunities, and yeah, so I can't get into that at the moment because it would just take too much time, but pretty much at the point at which we are right now is we're very bullish. As I get down to like the 1-hour time frame, we had this projection yesterday. All we were saying was we were bullish until this level was broken because this was our higher low. Now we just made a new higher high, and we just had this happen. Nice push back through. So we came back, sellers came into control, then buyers stepped in, and they sent this to be bullish again. So this thing right here, if I were to fib from here to here, we're always looking at this 38.2 sort of as that first level. If it respects that level, that just means the trend is very strong. Yeah, it just means the trend is very strong right now. So this thing could start to push higher. Originally, I had it pulling back a little bit more as it broke out. But just to readjust this, we could come off this 38.2 and then start to come up into this red level. So this is the analysis for USEF. I'll post this inside of the Discord for you guys, keep you guys updated on this one today. Let's just go over now to NU. So NU's falling off a little bit. Let's bump up time frames. Oh yeah, NU's falling off quite a bit. So let's go back and let's look at going into this week, kind of what we talked about. We could pull it up actually in the analysis tab. I'm just going to go over real quick because we post all this analysis in the beginning of the week. I'm just going to pull up NU right here. We were looking to go short on this. This was a really good entry opportunity. Unfortunately, I was sleeping when this happened. But basically, we were just saying weekly time frame, we're testing a supply zone, which I'll show you guys in a second. Daily time frame, we're in an uptrend, but formed a large wick candle at the previous high. We could see a reversal. And then in order to enter, I would have to see a lower high on the 30-minute. So that's what we saw. So let's just come back over. What I was talking about was we had this weekly time frame, this lower high. Last week closed above that level. We were basically, this isn't broken, guys, until it is another candle forms above. So this thing came up, rejected the 200-day. Then we had this large fall off. As I come down to the daily, we can see how the week opened right away, just very bearish. And this is what I was talking about. To begin the week, we had this doji at the top here, this large wick candle. And from there, we pretty much fell off into the area that we're at now. On this daily time frame, like I said, we are bullish. We did form this higher low, this high, but we're starting to transition all the way down to the 4-hour transition in, broke structure on this 4-hour time frame, minor structure right here, more major structure right here. So you might be asking, what is the next play on this? When can I potentially get in on opportunities? I mean, at the moment, this thing is just extremely bearish, all the way down to this 15-minute. This thing is bearish. And at the minimum, this thing needs to start to break structure. So this is our lower high. That's significant right now. Until that's broken, this thing is going to continue to go south. So we'll look for entry opportunities based on this at the moment, and we'll update you if this does break. Because if this breaks, what we'll do is we'll just bump up to the 1 hour, see how the 1 hour looks. Obviously the 1 hour will still be very bearish, so on and so on. So this is the time frame we're focused on right now. Intraday moves could potentially be coming. So let's go over now to EU. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. And again, this was another analysis going into this week. It was much of the same. I'm going to bump up to this monthly. We had this monthly trend line. And I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. So guys, when we draw trend lines, it's got to be from wick to wick. So we've got this bearish wick right here. And then we've got, so this is our point A, this is our point B. I was saying this could potentially be our point C right here, which we're obviously falling off a little bit. Also, we had this ascending channel up here on this daily time frame. So this is like a weakening pattern for me. This is just saying that the highs are becoming lower and lower, and these higher lows are essentially becoming weaker and weaker. As I come down to the 4 hour, we had this higher low form, and then we had a break, retest, this lower high formed, boom, another lower high formed earlier in this week. And then from there, we've just been falling off. Yesterday, we went over this, pretty much what we were looking for on this 1 hour. 1 hour, very bearish, lows, lower high. And if we were to fib this, we'd fib from that lower high to this low, came up, tested 88.6 multiple times. And then we were using this for projections. This thing obviously hit negative 27 at this point, and it's just very bearish, even still. So coming out of this little box pattern here, we were looking for a retest, break below, retest, entry. Looks like right now we're getting that pullback. We had this retest, just fell off pretty hard, all the way down to the 15-minute time frame. We can delete this. So always try to clean up your charts as much as possible, guys, to whatever is relevant at the moment. All the way down to this 15-minute time frame, we have structure right here. And this is pretty much what we're looking to get in on. So we're either going to come up here, retest this level. We could find sellers sooner considering all this momentum that just kicked in and head lower. And then to the flip side, if this thing does come up, break this level, that's going to be the position that we look for. So as always, two opportunities on this pair. Let's go over last but not least. We're going to go over GJ. So we're going to look at this on the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, guys, always start here with structure. We've got lower lows, lower high, retest these lows, lower high. Here, at the moment, there's just a ton of sellers in the market. I believe the next level we could push to is down here, this 131 or 132 level. As I come to the daily time frame, we're kind of just in no man's land, just falling. And when you see this and you don't know what to do, just go down time frames. You got to break this down until you can see some structure all the way down to the 4 hour. Still very much bearish. And we're just kind of maintaining below these moving averages. And then as I come to the 1 hour, this is where I can see structure a little bit better. As we can see down here, we've just been trying to push to the downside, but finding some support here, finding some buyers that are pushing us back up. But basically until this right here is broken, we are in a seller's bias. And if we see bearish, any sort of bearish variations here, that's when we're going to short. So we saw this bearish variation here, but large wick. So we want to protect ourselves, not enter on that. But say that we did, what we would do is we would just put stops above this level. Obviously, you could see stop losses are huge right now, so we wouldn't have taken that trade. Ideally, we want stop losses like under 60, 50 pips. So right now, we're just waiting on this retest, see if it respects this zone, and then we'll go to the downside on this one. So it's GJ. So I see you guys got a lot of questions in the chat, which is good. That's all the analysis I'm going to cover. Just to recap, I did UCAD, GU, USEF, NU, EU, and GJ. I'm going to pass this over to Nick, but in the meantime, if you guys, we're going to do a giveaway today, so just put your Discord name in the chat, and I'll enter you guys in for the giveaway. And that being said, I'll pass it over to Nick right now.
Nice analysis. Good job. Just let me share. And yeah, guys, just keep dropping your names.
I got you.
In here.
Here we go.
Perfect. All right, cool. So we're going to do a quick overlook on DXY again, but a lower time frame. Angelo covered this breakout for the most part. And pretty much just going over how we could see, further bullish movement. This was a pretty aggressive break. Pretty much a flag right here. Then we took off. Nice break of this lower high, quick retest, huge bullish volume, continuing up to the 38.2, which is where we are now. It's very likely that we'll see this continue up into the monthly zone. Somewhere around 95 is not unlikely. So we're just going to manage it accordingly. I mean, this thing is straight up right now, So we're just going to continue riding this trend and make trades accordingly, especially on the majors, which we'll get to in about a second here. So yeah, this is DXY. I mean, overall bearish for sure, but it was overdue for a pullback. This was overextended. It hadn't formed structure yet. We're just forming structure now on this daily fib at 38.2. So it's good to see. It's good to see. We're actually resuming normal market movement now for the most part. So let's go on to AU. It's our first pair, one of our majors, currently an active trade. And we're just playing this alongside DXY movement. So AU and DXY have inverse relationship. If you see DXY go up, all pairs where it's USD as a secondary, right? They're going to be inversely correlated to some extent. So this one happens to be very reactive to any bullish movement on DXY. So let's take a look. So this thing has shot up. AU has done the opposite. It's shot down. Okay, so we're just going to continue to manage this trend, this trade, and look to play it into this monthly zone. Again, if DXY goes up into the 95 handle, into that monthly resistance, it's super likely that we'll see AU drop into this monthly zone at least, maybe even lower, but we'll reanalyze once we get there. So here on the 4-hour, right, this was primarily bullish, especially on the daily. So daily and 4-hour were bullish. Huge, very strong trend, right? We broke key resistance here, then gave us this ascending channel. That's what we were just looking at on the 4-hour. This right here, this ascending channel. Let me just reposition this a little bit. Okay, then we started getting some lower highs. Consolidation, lower highs, price action fell out, consolidated a little bit here at this prior higher low, finally broke through and then melted. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys our entry where we got in. Right here. Now this was slightly risky. It didn't check all the boxes for what we like to see in a trade, but it had most of them, and we had enough confidence to then take this trade because we felt that this was worth the risk here because this had so much momentum. It had just broken out. It gave us a lower high at the 23.6, so it didn't even pull back to a structure level. But again, we saw the momentum on this, and I also was looking at DXY. And it was literally on this candle here. Actually, what time did we enter at? Let's take a look real quick. 20. So it was on this. I was on this break. It was on this break, and we were seeing this momentum pick up and all this volume step in. That's when it gave me enough confidence because it had broken through this key resistance and then held above. Look at all these wicks. So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, this thing has got so much momentum. It's going to keep going. I feel comfortable taking this extra level of risk by not seeing all the confirmations we want. I mean, there's still plenty of confirmations here, but not, like 5 or 6. There's just a few here. So, we had enough confidence in that, and now we're 1-to-1 right now. And this thing could be, again, well on its way down to the monthly zone, at least, closer to 100 pips. Let's see, it's probably more like it's about a little over 100 pips, 120 pips. All right, so this thing's still going south. Let's go to the 4-hour and kind of address what scenarios we do have. Let's say it comes down to this monthly zone. You will then either be looking for a bounce and then a break of a lower high, or a break through this monthly and then a lower high forming below. Okay, below this monthly zone. So let me just go ahead and actually show you. So you want to see either this price action comes down, bounces. Well, actually, let's do this. Right, comes down, bounces. You want to see price action get above this prior lower high right here, something like that. Okay, that's what we want to see happen at this monthly for us to then consider long opportunities. You'll obviously be looking for entries on the higher low over here, or we see price action break lower, give us a lower high, and then we'll be looking for lower high entries right below this monthly zone. But for now, I mean, this thing's just kind of falling off a cliff. It's just melting. So no real great opportunities right now. It needs to prove a lot, okay, if you're not already in for some sort of new trade opportunity. All right, so that's AU. Let's move on to AJ. Very similar, very, very similar as we know, guys. AU and AJ, they look pretty close on the chart. Let's go right to the daily for a second. Okay, so overall bullish here. This is like a 4-hour trend, overall bullish. The overall daily trend, however, within this channel, still pretty much bearish. I mean, we did break this set of lower highs here at this monthly zone, but I mean, clearly we found significant resistance at this trend line. So primarily bearish on the daily, 4 hours super bullish. So let's drop right down and get a closer look at what's going on. Okay, so here's that pattern. This is like a very large ascending channel, and then it picked up even more momentum and was sticking to the top half of this channel. But this is the full range from this top to this bottom, right? Very, very broad. And then we saw price action break the supporting trend line, gave us a bunch of lower highs, found resistance, significant resistance at this trend line, and kind of just started forming lower highs from there, and then just melted. It broke key support right here at 96.6 or 76.6, gave us a lower high and then dropped. So there were some opportunities in here as well. But I mean, this thing has just been melting. I mean, I missed this trade. I think this executed at when I was sleeping some ridiculous time because AJ reacts on different markets when we're sleeping usually. But anyway, yeah. So this was a good trade. and it came down all the way to our 75 level right here. So again, very similar like we just covered on AU. We have two scenarios pretty much. Either, because we can't take a trade right now, it's overextended. We need to see something happen, some consolidation. We need to see some, lower highs, structure formation, so that we can better gauge where it's going to go. Because you can't spot a break without lower highs or structure rather. You can't spot a break without structure. So we really need to see some sort of pullback or something. So this is option one, pretty much, is a huge drop, then a pullback, confirm lower high below 75, in which case you'd enter on those bearish setups, target lower. Or again, just like we covered on AU, you want to see some sort of break of a lower high and then formation of a higher low. So something like this. Let me just clean this up. Clean this up a little bit here. All right, cool. So something like this. Okay, you're looking to enter on this higher low right here. All right, so that's AJ. Nothing really, no trade opportunity right now. You just got to wait on it. Got to see how it reacts at this level. Now, when the pullback's going to happen, because it's just too overextended. You're not going to just start selling just because you think it's going to drop. You need to see something proven and then follow it. Okay, so that's AJ. Let's move on to, let's see, we got UJ next, looking good. All right, so this one I've been kind of sitting on for a little while. I'm waiting for this to reverse. We could have a huge short opportunity. Let's just go to the daily first off. Bearish overall, right? Huge descending triangle. Key support being at 106. Tons of lower highs leading up to this point, kind of narrowing price action, squeezing it on this higher time frame here. So we developed a range towards the end of this triangle between 109.25, 106. Then we started getting some lower highs. We saw our first real break of the monthly. Let's drop down and take a look at this pattern. So this was our first break, right? Then we started getting this pattern pretty much forming right at the 106 level. So it's just bouncing around this 106 level. Couldn't really figure out where it wanted to go. But we did see this pattern, right? So we got tons of lower highs forming, key support being at 105, and what we just saw happen on the higher time frame. We know that DXY likes forming these descending triangles, and they are continuation patterns in with the trend. So we have lots of lower highs. We're expecting it to break out of support, right? Break lower, retest this resistance, and then go for a significant bearish leg to the downside, right? So here we go. Here is this break. Here was this break of 105.3, right? And then we got our first pullback. So this was exactly what we want to see, right? Because this is now we're starting to count confirmations here. So we see that. Let me just adjust this for a second. I'll redraw that in. So we see that we have an MA pullback first, lower time frame transition, right? Nothing to be alarmed of yet. It's not going bullish just yet, but this is a lower time frame transition, probably like a 1 hour. Okay, MA cross, and now it's coming up to form structure. So now we're at the 61.8. So from here, we have a really good trade opportunity. And I'll show you what needs to happen for us to enter on a short. Okay, so there's that transition. Here's this. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and bring this up. All right, so let's say we get a confirmed reversal from 61.8. This is what needs to happen for us to enter short. Enter on a lower high. Whoops. All right, it's too low. I forget it. You got to double click it. So you want to enter on a lower high below 105. Oh, wait, where was it? 104.85, my bad. All right, so we want to enter on a lower high below this zone. So this would be broken support. It would confirm this transition once we saw this lower high, this lower time frame transition anyway, and then we would be playing back into the overall bearish trend on the 4 hour. Okay, so this could be a really good trade, guys. I mean, this one is, so let's say we got in right here. Let's say we got a lower high, nice engulfing, a little lower. This would probably be even a 50 pip stop right there. And then we're looking to target towards the negative 27 and potentially lower. So at least a 2.5 to 1, at least 2 to 1. You could even bring your stops up if you want. But yeah, this could be a really, really great trade. We just go to the 4 hour. It makes a lot of sense. This is textbook, guys. We have a pattern here. We have tons of confluence. We got structure. We got a nice MA pullback, ready for an MA cross as well. This could be something pretty clean. All right, but let's go over the scenario. This pulls back. It pulls back into the pattern. I'm personally not going to look for long opportunities, but guys, the rules stay the same. You're looking for a higher low to give you pretty much a change of bias. Okay, but for now, this is our first option only. As long as it remains below this resistance level, we're only looking at shorts. All right, so that is UJ. Let's move on to EJ, and then I got gold for you guys. EJ is always an interesting one. The movement on this is crazy. Much like AU. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let's just zoom out. Guys, so we were bearish here. Daily time frame. We're just going to start off doing a quick top-down analysis. Overall, super large bearish channel, right? We saw this bearish trend change once we got this confirmed higher low outside of the pattern. Why is this doing this? Come on. Right? So this right here was the confirmed transition. We got a huge break, higher low, and then we got a little bit of a cross here, another higher low on a lower time frame, good bullish variations. It was out at that point. So clearly change of trend from bearish to bullish. It executed perfectly and then shot up all the way into our monthly resistance zone around 126.5, which is pretty much where we're at now. Right? We're seeing a lot of exhaustion. We saw a reversal happen here, a bit of a double top, and then followed by a lower high. Again, lots of wicks, tons of exhaustion. The reaction that we would expect at this monthly zone after such a huge rally. So it's good to see that we're getting some breathing room here on EJ finally. All right, but let's figure out where we are now. So we saw this descending triangle again. It's kind of the theme of the week or month rather, and then it just melted. Right, it just blew right through 124.3 key support, gave us a lower high, entry opportunities in there. I know we did short this a little bit last week. But I think we missed any further opportunities going in this week. There were a couple, but this thing has just been melting. I mean, they're all like these mini patterns and stuff. Like this is looking like a pennant, pretty much. Get rid of this. All right, so this is a continuation pattern. I mean, it's too risky for me to enter on. I wouldn't enter on this until I see some sort of structure. But let's go ahead and take a look. Let's just fib it for a second. Okay, that's actually 38.2. Actually, there might be an entry opportunity here. Hold on. There could be actually. I lied to you guys. 1 second. We're going to drop to the 1 hour and get a look at this. Get a nice short opportunity. So, I mean, obviously this is bearish now, right, guys? I mean, you can see here on the 4 hour that we had a break of this. Well, this is the higher low, and this is a test of the higher low here, right? So these are just tests. But nonetheless, we saw price action break through it. It has the same concept, right? You want to see a break of these lows. We did. Confirm lower high. Confirm change of trend. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour now. Spot a potential trade opportunity for you guys. Wow, that was a nice little break right here. This one's looking good. All right, so let's say this is a pennant. We're looking to play it lower. Okay, you guys know what you need to see, right? You need to see some sort of break of the pattern, enter on a retest, and then you're out. Okay, target towards the weekly. And this is what it would look like. Now, granted, this thing could pull back still. I'm not saying it's going to just melt, but if it does break to the downside, give you a lower high on a lower time frame, and with good bearish momentum, good setups, I would take the trade. It's the best. It's what you're looking for. It's never going to be perfect, but there's a lot of confluence here. There's a lot of good setups to or good confirmations to enter on rather. Where the hell is this thing? All right, it wouldn't even be that high for your stop. It would just be outside this set of lower highs here. Okay, that's where your stop loss would be. Probably about 50 some odd. So again, well over 2 to 1. This could be a pretty great trade. I'm actually going to put this out in premium analysis for you guys right after this. But yeah, so that's where we're at. EJ still melting, still going lower. currently forming a little bit of a pennant, looking to drop, entering on proper setups and confirmations of a lower high and continuation to the downside. All right, guys. So let's go back to the 4 hour for a second. Get an overall look at this. I'm gonna go to the daily actually. Is this thing? Yeah, so it makes sense that it would come down to this weekly. That'd be good. And then we will reanalyze once we get to that weekly. And yeah, pretty much go over the same thing. Looking for a break, retest, looking for a reversal, and we'll kind of take it from there. But yeah, I mean, this was one hell of a reversal here. And, yeah, cool. All right, guys. So keep an eye on this one. Again, I'll drop it in premium analysis. But let's get over to gold now. Yep. Here it is. Here's the gold drop we've been waiting for. All right, so daily time frame, gold's extremely bullish, as we know. Very, very bullish. We got this descending triangle up here, high volume pattern. Let's go right to the 4 hour. Okay, so we got this descending triangle. Then we got this box pattern. I was actually expecting this to break to the upside because there was a minor transition here. Gave us a higher low, broke out of the pattern. It really looked like it was going long. But again, DXY and gold, they have an inverse relationship. So inverse correlation rather. So if DXY goes up, gold's going to drop. If DXY goes down, gold's going to go up, relatively. And I mean, we saw DXY surge higher, significantly higher, and gold kind of held its own for a little while. Like, it dropped a little bit and was kind of just testing this area, even all in here with all these indecision candles. It was still holding its own for the most part, but then it just dropped. It couldn't handle it. It just starts pulling back. And honestly, we're looking for this thing to come back to the 61.8 and on it potentially even lower towards the weekly. I mean, it all depends on how far DXY pushes, but for now, this thing is 4 hour or 1 hour bearish trend pretty much. So it's on its way down. Looking to look for some reaction around the 61.8 weekly, 1800. But for right now, I mean, this thing is just melting. You could potentially enter on a counter trend trade if you get some sort of pullback with some bearish setups. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I mean, you can do it. It's possible. Good if the setups are there. You could get into a decent trade and short the crap out of gold. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for these pairs. So quick recap: covered DXY, covered AU, covered AJ. Damn, these things are going. UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, guys. So that's all the pairs that we prepared for you guys. I think Angelo, you might be on a call. Oh no, you're good. Your mic's open.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just looking at UCAD. So if you guys got in on UCAD, I just want to pull this back up. UCAD's flying right now.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna pull this back up. So if you guys got in on UCAD, I would just move stops to break even right now. And again, we just entered right on this little break up. A lot of momentum here. So I'll just move your stops to break even if you guys got in on this trade. So we're in on UCAD, we're in on AU right now. And then that was good analysis. You went over obviously a lot. We both did. If you guys have any final questions,
there's a couple
just
here
put it in the chat.
What's the relationship between gold and USD? They're inverse related. So if US dollar is appreciating, gold you'll see start to drop a little bit, and vice versa. So we saw this huge rally from gold happen when DXY was dropping. So when the dollar was depreciating, we saw gold going way up. Yeah, we're finally bullish on gold on the dollar. Gold to 1860. Yeah, no, it's possible. That's where my 61.8 is. So I mean, that's not an unlikely level at all, especially with the amount of volume that we're seeing. But yeah, guys, so good analysis. Again, for all that don't know, you can go into our Discord for free, get all these analyses that we post every week, and then, some updates throughout the week as well.
Yep.
So definitely utilize that, guys.
Real quick, I'm just going to bring on, we do have this sale going on right now, so you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Cool. So this is going to be the end of our live session. All the analysis is done for today. We do have this sale going on. We have 9 spots left. So if you guys want to get in on this, everything that's included is the videos, the signals, one-on-one training, private chat, fundamentals, live sessions, weekly webinars, and most importantly, just a positive community. So if you guys are liking these live sessions and you want to build on these, then take advantage of this discount right now. It's normally $4.99. It's down to $2.99 at the moment. I'm just going to pull up real quick the course right here. So everything that's included is going to be here. We're going to go into this one, go to the top. So this is the full course. Everything that's included is going to be, you can start this as beginners, intermediate level, whatever. It's just continuous education for you guys, no matter where you guys are at. And we go over everything we went over in here. So market structure, support and resistance, trend lines and supply and demand zones, Fibonacci, time frame correlation. That's kind of just the basics of it, our strategy of any price action strategy. We'll give you guys some homework. So when we do the one-on-ones, there's some direction involved in that. And then it's really what you put in is what you're going to get out, guys. So don't come to us and expect to just learn everything. And this is like, we're not going to try to tell you this is a one-stop shop and whatever. Like, you guys need to give effort. You guys need to put in some work. You're going to get out what you put in. So week 3, you're going to go over some more advanced topics: top-down analysis, entry zones, entries, index analysis, pattern recognition. These are all topics we go over in these live sessions. We just don't have enough time right now to get in more depth on everything, but obviously still a lot going on here. And then final week, we're going to get into risk management, maintaining orders, back testing, which is like the most important thing of trading, fundamental analysis, lot size calculation, and again, give you guys some more homework, and then we'll get into some psychology training, bunch of topics on that. You guys will get 15 or 16 books in here, so you have a bunch of PDFs. I know one person messaged me, so they bought a book for like $50. These are all free, so it's like Trading in the Zone, a lot of books by Mark Douglas, Naked Forex, like a lot of different books that me and Nick were in different communities. We found, we knew that people wanted them, and we know how it is when you guys get started with trading. You want to kind of learn as much as you can and just fully immerse yourself. And then the webinars, we try to hold them weekly as much as we can. We record all of them, put them in here. So there's a ton of content in here for you guys to review, like pretty much over 20 hours of webinars in here. And then we got our trade reviews. So every trade that we take, we do a review on. They're updated more frequently in the signals course. So you are getting another course in here as well. So that's everything that's included in the course, guys. It's $2.99, just a one-time fee, and you get signals with that as well. So yeah, if you're interested in that, just shoot me a message. Didn't want to do too much sales, but just wanted to put this out there because we do run the promotion right now. So message me after this if you guys want to get in on that. This will be recorded. It has been recorded as always. So we'll upload this in a little bit, and I'll get the giveaway out to you guys as soon as possible. So we'll go again tomorrow, 8 a.m. EST, and
Last trading session of the week.
yeah, for our last live trading session of the week, and we will see you guys then. So I hope you guys have a good day today, and if it's nighttime, good night, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Peace, guys.
Peace out.